These professional chefs all want to break into the top ranks of the world's culinary elite. Deciding who has the talent to cut it is MasterChef judge Greg Wallace.
An absolute triumph, young man. Cool.
And culinary legend Michel Roux Jr. With 2 Michelin stars, he's expecting perfection.
Parsnip puree is heavenly. That is the style that I would serve in my restaurant.
Cooking doesn't get better than this. These 3 chefs all share one ambition: to climb to the top of their profession and become the inspiration of a generation. But in today's show, only one of them will be good enough to make it through to Friday's quarter-final.
Professional MasterChef, we are looking for somebody very special indeed. Someone who wants to take that natural talent and reach for the skies.
I'm looking for a chef that has confidence, that has a certain swagger. That, to me, is really the sign of a good chef in the making.
My ambition is to have my own restaurant, minimum 1 Michelin star. I want more, obviously. I'm only 22, so I've got the world at my oyster, to be honest. I don't think there's many people more ambitious, but I know that I'm capable of very, very, very good food.
A lot of people think I've got a bit of a chef's ego. You need a bit of arrogance about yourself. I don't take criticism well. I don't like it. I'm not a fan of it, but it does happen. But you can come back from it better and stronger.
If I won MasterChef The Professionals, it would give me an ideal stepping stone into the next part of my life. The fact that I've entered the competition shows that I'm driven to succeed.
We want a chef who will be able to go anywhere in the world and be able to cook food fit for kings.
Welcome to Professional MasterChef. The gentleman beside me is Chef Michel Roux Jr. Nobody I know has trained more chefs than Michel.
You have 50 minutes to create 2 wonderful dishes. I want to see flair, imagination, passion, and above all, great cooking.
Let's cook.
This is the versatility test. They have 50 minutes to show how skilled they are by producing 2 completely different dishes out of today's ingredient: duck breast, or supreme, and leg of duck. Their larder includes bacon, spring onions, parsnips, egg noodles, pui lentils, cherries, port, and mango. And to test their presentation skills, a selection of plates and dishes.
They have duck today. What a fantastic ingredient. They can travel the globe with this dish if they want. They can do Asian style, European style if they want, but they must be true to that beautiful soft meat.
What I would like to see is the supreme of the duck served pink, rosé, but the skin still nice and crisp. There's a wonderful shopping basket in front of them of spices and herbs and vegetables. It's all about imagination, thinking on your feet, and cooking your heart out.
No better buzz than working in a kitchen. Primarily, I just want to cook, cook, cook. The fiancée says I love it more than her. Being a pastry chef at the moment is good. It gives you foundations for presentation, especially new methods of cooking, hot jellies with our main courses, using herbs in my desserts to make it that extra high standard.
But only 10 minutes into the task, Christopher cuts the top of his finger and loses precious time getting it checked and bandaged.
Firstly, Christopher, we've had a bit of an accident here, haven't we?
Certainly have, chef, certainly have.
What happened?
I just caught my nail. First thing I chopped, just caught my nail, so we move on, don't we?
The show must go on. You're happy in the face of adversity.
Yeah.
Tell us about your 2 dishes.
Simple, going to cook the duck breast perfectly for you. For my second dish, I've got Moroccan flavour, isn't it? Pancetta, making a little foam with the milk. That's just going to be served with a bit of roasted shallot puree.
Your style of food, Christopher?
I'm working towards the new techniques for today, just a simple foam, but it's something different for a sauce.
You've got a lot to do, chef.
Certainly have, chef.
50 minutes. Can you do it?
Certainly can, yes.
Halfway, you have 25 minutes.
My style of cooking at the minute is quite varied, really. I work for an events company. Every day is a different day. I can be doing anything from a sandwich lunch for 10 people up to a dinner for 800. The pressure can get to quite a lot of people, but I actually really enjoy it.
All right then, Clive.
Are you right?
Yeah, you look cool and not too nervous.
No, not really. If you're nervous, you might mess a few things up.
And why MasterChef, Clive?
Everyone strives to be as the best chef they can. You get on here, get a name for yourself, and just show people in the country what you can actually do as a chef. I'd love my own gastro Michelin-starred pub. Hopefully doing this will help me get there.
And do you think you can go all the way in this competition?
Yep, definitely.
The food I love to cook is classic French with a modern twist. I own about 70 cookbooks. It's a big part of my life, reading, researching and being up to date. It's one of the main things about being a chef.
And the two dishes that you know are going to impress us are what?
They are an aiguillette of duck, which is a breast of duck sliced against the bias sort of lengthways, which is a typical French cut, not often seen in England. And to start, leg of duck, Asian style, with maybe a cherry vinaigrette to go with it.
It all sounds very interesting, and especially the first dish you described there, lots of classical earthy flavours.
That's probably the style I've concentrated on. For a year I worked in L'Alpe d'Huez and in Corsica as well, in France. So learned a lot of classical dishes and sort of bring that back to the UK and sort of taking that onto my cooking.
Are you very ambitious, Jack?
Yes, very, very ambitious.
Why MasterChef?
I hope I can go all the way.
With it?
I think I've got a good chance, but I don't want to be too ballsy.
No, you be as ballsy as you want, mate. All right?
Nothing wrong with that.
You have only 5 minutes.
Presentation is vitally important. For great food, it must be presented in a beautiful and light manner. Something which says, eat me.
4 minutes. You going to do this?
Yes.
You sure?
Yeah.
1 minute. You've got to bring these plates together. 1 minute. Who really has the understanding to keep it simple and the courage to present it and say, there you go, it won't taste better than this. That's it. Time's up.
Will pastry chef Christopher's skill with presentation be reflected in his first dish, duck breast on braised pre-lentils with bacon and a red wine jus?
The duck supreme is nicely sliced. Presentation, I like. It's neat, it's simple, but it's very, very clean and effective. The duck's lovely. It's well cooked. That's very nice. Nicely seasoned. Your pre-lentils are underdone. I think you were pushed for time there. They're a little bit crunchy, but there's lots of flavour in there. There's bags and bags of flavour, which I like.
Good comments, thank you.
I love the simplicity of your approach. That shows a very confident cook to me. You get almost wine-like flavour when it first goes in your mouth, and then that goes away and it's like woody herbs, and then you get very well-seasoned duck. Those flavours are glorious.
Will his second dish, ballotine of duck legs stuffed with apricots and prunes, served with shallot puree and bacon foam, be as successful?
I don't think it's as clean a line as the first course. It looks a little bit rushed. The ballotine, I think, is overcooked. It's dried out a bit. And we're not getting the full flavours of the stuffing there, which is a shame. Not getting the full flavours of the duck as well. The shallot puree, the shallots are slightly underdone. It could have been roasted a bit longer. If everything was 100% correct, it would be a very, very good dish. But there are things not quite right there.
There's a smack of shallot in there, and you have to fight your way through it before you get to the fruit and the duck. We questioned the timing. I don't think you actually did have enough time.
At the very start, the first thing I chopped, happened to just catch my nail. Obviously I had about 15 minutes worth of dressing it up. So towards the end I never had the 15 minutes to do what I wanted to do. So next round I'm going to have to really raise my game.
Event chef Clive wants to show his versatility with his first dish of egg noodle salad with duck, mango and spinach.
Anything else but piping hot noodles in a bowl, I can't really take. I don't think it works.
Unlike Greg, I actually like noodle salad. There we go. See, that works for me, but there's not enough duck.
Yeah.
I think the mango in there is wonderful, brings a lovely sweetness to the dish. I think you understand flavours.
Can Clive win over both judges this time with his honey roast duck with orange and port reduction, served with fine beans, champ and parsnips?
I like the fact that you put lots of sauce on there. I think that's great. Beautifully sliced duck as well, and beautifully cooked. It looks rosé, pink and juicy. I thought the sauce was going to be too sweet, but in actual fact it's very well balanced and it goes beautifully with the duck.
Fruity and with thyme as a base in it as well. That is a really, really good sauce. Your duck's cooked really, really well. The mashed potato is superb.
The comments I received from the pair of them, quite pleased with them. I'm feeling quite confident, but we're only halfway there.
Jack has served Asian-style duck with orange, wilted greens and cherries. Will this move away from his usual classic French style pay off?
A lot of citrus. It's almost killing the flavour of the duck. The duck could do with a little bit more seasoning as well. The cherry flavour is being dominated. Too much going on, I think.
It's having an identity crisis. The flavourings individually are good, but together, no.
Can his duck served with Savoy cabbage and bacon, parsnip puree and a port and onion reduction prove he can master flavour combinations?
Very good. Your duck's cooked very well. Nice and moist, pink, beautifully seasoned. Perfect. Parsnip puree is heavenly.
Thank you.
I could eat a bucket load of that. That is the style and the combinations that I would serve in my restaurant.
Thank you.
I'd more than happily pay for that, go home happy, come back next week, order it again. In fact, I'd be disappointed if it was off the menu. Very, very good dish.
When Michelle really said that my dish is heavenly, it brought a massive smile to my face. And it really sort of excited me, like it proves to myself that I can do it.
That's a pretty good effort, but we are only at the halfway point. We have another round to come. Thank you guys, off you go.
3 very talented young chefs here today. They understand flavour and presentation. We're going to have a tough job separating them.
I think it's a shame that 2 of them have to go home, but whoever gets through this round is a very serious contender for this title.
Christopher sliced the top of his finger off, but it didn't faze him at all.
Christopher pulled all the stops out. I mean, he actually attempted too much, but what is amazing is he nearly pulled it off.
His second dish didn't quite work. He couldn't quite achieve the greatness that he aspires to and the greatness that I'm sure he has.
Hopefully they'll see that with those 2 dishes. I've got the potential. I'm even more determined in this next round to really, really do my best.
Strange with Jack, he attempted Asian cooking, which he obviously doesn't understand that well. But when you saw that second dish, that's one of the best dishes I've tasted in a long time. I mean, that was a truly great puree. Boy, that fella can cook, as long as he stays true to what he knows.
I let myself down on the first dish. I hopefully cemented good ideas in their heads of who I am and what capabilities I have.
I actually like Clive's noodle salad. His other dish was perfectly executed. Beautifully cooked duck and beautifully sliced. Very, very high level cooking. All 3 of them would not look out of place in my brigade.
I can't at the moment predict one in front of the others. I cannot wait to see the battle unfold before us this afternoon.
If you don't understand the fundamentals of French classic cooking, then you can never even dream about becoming a top chef. You have 2 classic recipes to cook for us this afternoon. Aile dorée grenobloise, or skate wing in Grenoble fashion. For the dessert, floating islands or œuf à la neige. 1 hour and 20 minutes for those 2 classic dishes.
Good luck, off you go.
The classic recipe test is really going to sort them out. The skill level required is immense.
Originating from the foot of the French Alps, skate à la grenobloise showcases several classic techniques.
Aile dorée à la grenobloise. That's a skate wing, lightly poached and then fried in a hazelnut butter. The secret to being a great dish is that the croutons must still be crispy, not too much lemon, otherwise it will overpower the skate. We're also asking them to turn some potatoes. That's to shape these potatoes with a paring knife and lightly boil them. I don't want undercooked potatoes today.
The second dish, œuf à la neige, is also known as floating islands. It's a very light dessert of soft meringues poached in a sugar syrup and served with crème anglaise and caramel.
The crème anglaise has got to be unctuous, creamy and cooked properly. Cooking the egg to the right temperature. You take it a bit too far and you'll have scrambled eggs and have to start all over again. We're also giving them the option of garnishes. They're going to have some mixed berries, some chocolate, something that they can add a personal touch to it. But if they can get the crème anglaise cooked properly and the meringues cooked just right with crispy caramel on top, I'll have it just like that.
Jack, no problems with these 2 dishes?
My element.
Really?
I know both these recipes, not off by heart, but
I've eaten in Grenoble
the fish dish before, so I've got in my mindset how I'm going to present it already.
Fantastically confident, Jack. This is marvellous stuff. But you realise our expectations of your food have now gone through the roof, don't you? Half an hour left.
Are they recipes that you've cooked before?
I've done skate before, but the dessert is a new one on me. But
Are you not as confident as you were?
I'm still confident. It's just a dish that I haven't done before.
So what is going to be the trickiest bit for you then with these floating islands?
All of it?
You like a challenge though, I can see that.
Yeah.
There's a quarter-final place up for grabs, and you've got 15 minutes to get it. Now, how do you feel about the 2 dishes?
I've not done œuf à la neige, but pastry's what I do most. I claim to do pastry, I can't make an anglaise, then something's going wrong.
So it holds no fears for you whatsoever?
The skate dish does, yeah, I'm not going to lie.
You have only 5 minutes left. Time's up. Finished.
With the contestants neck and neck, who will prove they can hit the highest mark and snatch the quarter-final place? First under scrutiny is their skate à la grenobloise.
Christopher?
Christopher has served his skate with sautéed leeks. Can he achieve the fine balance of flavours required with this dish?
Your skate is slightly overcooked and could have done with more seasoning likewise, which is a shame because the butter is lovely. Beautifully turned potatoes. Not a bad attempt. Not bad.
Very, very citrusy, very, very sharp in the dressing. I'd eat it, it's fine, I'd enjoy it. Would I tell everybody what great skate they do at the restaurant? I doubt it.
Clive.
Clive has chosen to serve his skate with a side dish of creamed leeks.
That potato is underdone. It's moist, flavoursome, well seasoned. I do question having a really rich, creamy leek with a very buttery dish. But the fish is beautifully cooked. Shame about the potatoes.
Your beurre noisette is perfect, but you put whole slices of a lemon in there, which is too citrusy, and it's washing away the nice nuttiness of the butter. Okay. Jack.
Will Jack's skate à la grenobloise reflect his confidence with the French classics?
Your skate is perfectly cooked. It's beautiful, it's perfectly seasoned likewise. The only problem is your butter hasn't gone quite far enough to that nut brown moment where it delivers more flavour.
There are enormous great lumps of potato. I very rarely dig potatoes that big, let alone end up that big after I've turned them. That fish is cooked to absolute perfection. Your balance of citrus and the saltiness of the capers is also very, very well balanced.
It's now down to the œuf à la neige. It's the last chance for the chefs to prove themselves.
Christopher.
Pastry chef Christopher has used chocolate as well as caramel to garnish his dish.
I think this is a very modern approach and I think it works. I think it looks very pretty. Ever so slightly overcooked your crème anglaise, but it's a wonderful plate. I definitely think that that style of presentation could be served in a fine dining restaurant.
Vanilla, cream, going into that light meringue. It's still got a little bit of body, just dissolves on the tongue, and finishing with sharp cocoa chocolate. An absolute triumph, young man. Cool.
To have those kind of comments about my dessert is really uplifting, especially from someone such as Michel Roux. Hopefully that stood me in good stead.
Clive?
Clive's never cooked œuf à la neige before, but he's gone all out with presentation, serving his dish with a berry coulis.
Should be in a bowl. Yeah, floating island. Yeah. Should be floating. There's definitely not enough vanilla. And definitely not enough depth of flavour. It's not right.
It needs bags more vanilla. The fruit doesn't really come through. The only thing you're left with is very, very hard caramel, which is slightly bitter. It's a little bit disappointing, this one.
I got a bit upset, but that's me. Very passionate about what I do. Made a few basic errors, which got no excuse for.
Jack is last under the judges' scrutiny.
It's sweet. I like the textures of the floating island, but there's an eggy flavour straight away that filled up my palate. That eggy thing wasn't great.
Definitely a floating island. It's floating on a lovely sea of crème anglaise, which is always a good thing. Crème anglaise isn't cooked enough. So it is a bit thin, and it's actually coating my tongue and my palate, the raw egg.
I would be genuinely gutted if I didn't go through, because I've given it my all today. I've tried my hardest, and that's all you can do.
Michelle and I have a lot of talking to do and a judging decision to make. Off you go.
I thought it was fantastic today to see 3 young chefs who really cooked with so much passion and flair. Poor Clive, he nearly broke down in tears there. His œufs à la neige were not quite right.
It wasn't that bad, it's just the level of competition is so strong. His steak was brilliantly cooked, but we're after fine dining here, and he's serving raw potato.
If we look at it that way, it was very far from being perfect.
Pretty gutted, to be honest with you. It just makes me feel like I've let myself down more than anything. I'm better than that, so... But I can't do anything about that now.
I think we should say goodbye to Clive.
That leaves us with Jack and Christopher. I think they're pretty much going into the classic recipe test neck and neck. And here's a problem. Christopher delivers a very, very good floating island. Jack's floating island is awful. Christopher doesn't deliver a very nice skate. Jack's skate is wonderful. Crying out loud.
Jack was so confident about the classic recipes. He said, no problem, I've done these before. There were still mistakes. It wasn't mistake-free. But the best dish I have tried today was Jack's duck dish.
It was really good to have Michelle Rue and Greg Wallace saying that parts of my dishes were perfect. If I can transfer the whole of the dish being perfect and not just 7/8 of the dish, then in the next round I can show them perfection complete.
Christopher cooked better with one hand losing a pint of blood a minute than most chefs that have been through this competition without a band-aid on their finger. This guy is driven and he has bags and bags of skill.
I've got a lot of drive. I'm 100% committed to this competition and to achieve what I want to achieve within it. I want to cook for Michel Roux again. I want to have feedback from a godfather of French cuisine.
It's a very, very tight call. Chef going through to the next round is Jack.
I feel absolutely elated that I'm through to the next round.
Disappointed, obviously. I know I'm a good chef, it's not going to put me off. I'm still going to be striving for everything I want to do in life.
Right guy, to be honest with you. I have so much potential there. So much potential. In the next round would have showcased that. But it's not to be.
Very happy, chef. Very happy, chef. Really pleased now, yeah. Oh, I'm slightly shaking again.
Jack will be back for Friday's quarter-final. Tomorrow night, 3 new chefs battle it out for the title of Professional MasterChef.
It's the kind of dessert that I would serve in my restaurant.
And if food's your thing, don't forget you can catch up with the latest episode of The Hairy Bakers on the BBC iPlayer. One of the most fascinating characters from ancient history is Dan Snow profiles Hadrian, next on BBC Two.